We are here with another video, and this video is about how to be funny. Now, a lot of people are going to talk about these things that aren't really important, like what to say, what jokes to say, when to say them, whatever. Although sometimes that stuff may be important, it's really not. The main thing of importance when it comes to trying to be funny is your delivery along with other things. Because here's the thing, you can make anything into a joke, literally anything, as long as you master a delivery and how to say it. Today, I'll be teaching you how to be funny so that you can use this in networking and social interactions, whether it's networking for business opportunities or just simply trying to make a new friend. And I'm gonna teach you how to summon up this mood at will. So in case you're wondering who I am, my name is Zach and I run a company called Fadir Confidence Coaching. What we do is we help people to grow their mindsets so that they can have better personal and professional lives. So first things first, we need to talk about tone. Now, tone is incredibly important because jokes and being funny and connecting with people is all about how you say something, not what you say. It's all about how you say it. Most people will probably say, oh, it depends on what you say, right? Yeah, like you look up what jokes to say in a conversation or when you're networking to kind of lighten the mood and build rapport. No, don't focus on what you say, focus on the attitude and the mood that you present. And see, this is going to be a lot harder if you don't know how to summon this than saying a joke as well. And I think people subconsciously may even try to shove it in the back because they don't want to face that in reality, to be funny, you have to be confident and comfortable in your own skin, meaning that you can come off a little goofy sometimes and not be afraid to try things out. Now, people will screw this up all the time because they'll say something that definitely has the potential to be funny, but it just doesn't make anyone laugh or come off as such, and it's all about their tone and their delivery. They just simply didn't deliver it effectively. In order to come off as funny, you have to maintain the physiology and the behavior of someone who is funny. If your tone isn't goofy or delivered in a precise way or delivered in some way that corresponds with being funny and more comedic, then it's not going to come off as funny and it could just completely go over other people's heads. However, there is another seriously important aspect to comedy, especially when trying to build rapport with other people and network with them, and it involves exaggeration. See guys, when it comes to being funny, exaggeration is a must. It's the absolute hallmark and foundation and framework by which comedy is based on and functions on. You can think of it really as our brains have been designed or have evolved in a certain way to understand that intentionally excessive exaggeration means and communicates that something is not as serious. Being serious has no place in comedy, and so in order to come off as comedic or funny, you need to have a different presence about you and you need to be intentionally excessive when you exaggerate. Seriousness has no place in comedy unless, of course, you are making fun of someone that was trying to be serious, for example. See, by adding exaggeration, you're really already halfway there, and sometimes exaggeration is all you need to make something come off as funny. See, comedy is all about breaking the normal conventions of the world to some degree. It's about making fun of the known world in a light-hearted, fun way around topics that may be normally taken as serious or that people get all worked up about and stressed over, etc. You'll notice how professional comedians always have passion. I've talked about this in previous videos as well. They always have a passion that exudes really from their comedy. This includes having excessive gestures and movements, inflections in their tone of voice, excessive reactions towards a situation, anything like that. The whole point and the main thing I want you to take away from here is the word excessive, right? Comedians will be, again, excessive in their gestures, their hand movements, their facial expressions, like, damn, their movements, everything. So you gotta exaggerate, exaggerate, exaggerate. I cannot stress this enough. Now, if you're in a networking situation where it's more of a business atmosphere, you may be like, okay, well, I kind of have to toe the line a little bit here, which is true. You still want to read them, engage the room, and do it effectively while going in very slow and reading them to understand maybe some of what they find funny and how that works, but that leads into the next serious point here. Now, once you understand all of this, the really biggest obstacle that you're going to face is allowing yourself to be this goofy and to even come off a certain way. It really comes down to how comfortable are you in your own skin, how confident are you within yourself and secure and safe within yourself. Do you feel safe with being authentically you? That's the key here. Because if you don't, you're not going to allow yourself to really embrace this goofy and comedic side to you. And if you do go to try to be funny or comedic, it's going to come off weird and people are going to sense it. Because again, people can sense our body language. Body language is the number one language. The secondary language is really our words. So based on what you are communicating through your body language, gestures, tones, everything else besides the actual words that are being said is what the other person's really going to pick up on and what they're really going to understand when it comes to what you're trying to deliver to them, the meaning, the message that you're trying to deliver to them. So you don't want to obviously deliver a message of being uncomfortable or awkward or anything like that. So you really have to make sure you own and that you're confident when you go to make a joke or bring out that funny comedic side to you. You will sometimes get absolute crickets, guys, where just no one responds to your jokes. You'll come off as goofy and people may judge you for that. They may judge you for that a lot. The point is to keep going because you have to also remember that people's judgments are only reflections of them judging themselves. Therefore, it's about seeing judgment even in a different light. If you're being judged, it most likely means that you're doing something right. Because when people judge other people, it's really more so about they're judging the fact that they can't bring that out of themselves. They can't exude the sort of traits and the characteristics that you are in that moment. And so therefore they have to judge and critique you because they don't like that you have those traits, especially right next to them, because then their insecurities get all flared up and it makes them, at least they think, look bad. In other words, a person will only judge you if that person views what you are doing as in somehow enticing and interesting to them. In other words, if they value being funny or the idea of being really funny somehow interests them even just a little bit, just entices them just a little bit, intrigues them just a little bit, they're going to be jealous and judge you for that most likely. Or, of course, the flip side, the positive side to that, is that they could get inspired by you and want to hang out with you. So there's obviously two sides to this. Just remember, guys, that in general with judgment, anyone who has ever done anything meaningful in their life or worthwhile has been judged for it. So if you're being judged, again, it means that you're on the right path. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just say this. If you're not being judged enough in life, it probably means that you're simply not being authentic and confident enough and really not living a significant life. That may sound harsh, but seriously, if you're not doing what you're meant to do, you're not living a life that's authentic to yourself, then you're not going to get judged, and therefore you should really rethink your approach. So what attitude really cultivates and brings these traits to the forefront naturally? Well, what it is, guys, is it's the idea of entertaining yourself. Your goal should not be to make other people laugh, but rather make yourself laugh. And this is super important. There's a general rule of thumb is that if you can crack yourself up, you're going to crack someone else up too. For example, have you ever laughed at someone just because of the fact that they found something funny, not even the joke itself? I mean, this still gets the end goal where you're making people laugh and everyone's having a good time and you're fun to be around. So just keep that in mind as far as the expectations of what you may think a funny person looks like or has to be. And also remember that the goal here doesn't even depend on other people laughing in general. It's all about making yourself laugh. Okay, it's all about your own experience in the end, guys. If you laugh at a joke, then it's funny and it was worthwhile saying it. Again, like I said, chances are if you said it and you thought it was funny, then someone else is gonna laugh. Or if they don't laugh, there's also the possibility that they're just conforming to the majority of the people and they're afraid to express themselves. So keep that in mind as well. But the overall idea here is that you want to aim at saying things that would make you laugh, not necessarily thinking about what would make other people laugh. You're going to learn that naturally through social interactions and with time, but ultimately you want to try to make yourself laugh. Your jokes are going to come off a lot more confidently and charismatic if you do it this way, and it's not gonna seem like you're needy and trying to get something from the other person like a laugh. So again, the key pointers that we have discussed so far is that you wanna exaggerate. You wanna be passionate. You wanna engage your whole body and your whole physiology, your tone of voice, your gestures, everything. You wanna move differently. And make sure to exaggerate these gestures and these tone of voice and everything. It'll definitely add to the effect. And next, you wanna make sure you're accepting and embracing who you authentically are and embracing that goofy side to you guys and letting it come out. And then again, lastly, you wanna make sure to focus on entertaining yourself. If you entertain yourself, you're gonna entertain others naturally. Now, if you wanna learn more about how to become comfortable in your own skin so you can really go all in on how to be goofy and comedic naturally, especially when building rapport with other people for the sake of networking and business and just in life in general, be sure to check out my video on how to be 100% confident, because I think it'll really help you guys out with that. And also be sure to subscribe and like. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace out, guys.